Another scientist whose work clearly impacted Charles Darwin, and one whose name I want you to recognize on the next assessment, is Georges Cuvier. So Cuvier is a French naturalist. He's often referred to as the founding father of the science of paleontology. So, what Cuvier contributes is he's the first scientist to really begin to systematically extract, describe, and catalog fossils. So we're going to take a deep dive into fossils in Module 4, the evolutionary history of life on planet Earth. We've got a whole lab devoted to fossils. But for now, I want you to recognize two key insights that Cuvier has in examining fossils. The first is that many of the species that he recovers and other contributing scientists are finding, many of these species, they're no longer around today. They've gone extinct. Further, curiously, some of these fossils, they don't really have any modern day analogs. Some of them, they look a bit like chimeras. Remember the chimera from Greek mythology with the head of the lion and the goat and the dragon? So they're kind of like mixed up animals. Part this animal and part that animal. So first, consider Archaeopteryx. That means the ancient wing. Archaeopteryx was recovered in 1861. That's just 2 years after Charles Darwin publishes On the Origin. Fortunately, I have a new Archaeopteryx cast that I want to show you. This is a cast, a replica of the famous Archaeopteryx. And when you look at this exquisitely preserved specimen, at first blush, it looks like a bird, right? If we look right here, what are those? What are those imprints of? Those are feathers. So there you have it. Archaeopteryx is a bird. We clearly have feathered wings. But I'm going to zoom in close now, and I want you to take a close look at the skull. If you look closely, you'll notice that Archaeopteryx clearly has teeth. Question: do birds have teeth? Let's take a closer look at a bird skeleton, shall we? This is a very common bird, one that is ubiquitous here in the city of Phoenix, as well as cities all around the world, a very successful species. It's a rock dove, which you may know as a pigeon. But if we take a look at the pigeon skull and the bill, you will notice that pigeons have no teeth. And pigeons are not unique. There is not an extant bird species alive today that possesses teeth. There are serrated bills like we see in the cormorants, but no bird alive today has teeth. Birds have lost their teeth over the course of deep evolutionary time because teeth are heavy, right? And birds are all about minimizing mass for flight. So here we have a look at an Archaeopteryx skeleton, bird-like, except for these unusual teeth, next to a modern bird with teeth lacking in the bill. But that's not the only difference. If we take another look here at Archaeopteryx, I want you to look here. Archaeopteryx has a long, bony tail. Do birds have long, bony tails? If we go back to our pigeon skeleton, you can see that birds do not have a long bony tail. Their tail vertebrae are greatly reduced, compressed, and fused. Nothing like we see in Archaeopteryx. Who does have a long bony tail with lots of vertebrae? This beautiful lady does. This is Athena. She is a leopard gecko that lives in my lab. Such beautiful eyes. Leopard geckos are known for storing calories in their tail. This is a great starter species for those looking to get a reptile. But if you go to a reptile show or to a local pet store and pick out a gecko, look for one with a fat tail. That means it's nice and healthy. She's quite beautiful. But reptiles have long, bony tails and teeth. What is my broader point? Archaeopteryx is what we call a transitional form. It is part reptile, part bird. Archaeopteryx is a small meat-eating member of a lineage of dinosaurs known as the theropods. This is the lineage of dinosaurs that gives rise to the class Aves, to modern birds. Archaeopteryx is a missing link, a transitional form that connects the dinosaurs to all of the incredible bird diversity that we see today. Importantly here, though, what Darwin recognizes by looking at the fossil record is that the fossil record is rife with examples of species going extinct, as well as new species arising, showing up, appearing in the sedimentary rock. Old species were dying out, and new ones were being formed.